A Sapphire Running Zone podcast.
Hi, this is Tim from the Sapphire Running Zone, and this is another in our Runner Stories podcast. And it's another London Marathon podcast, and today we've got Michael with us, and Michael's running the London Marathon for Kidney Research UK, and he's had a really good one. So welcome back, Michael, and just give us a quick summary of the day before we go into it in a bit more detail.
I'm still on cloud nine really from it. Absolutely buzzing from the experience. Sort of got to the time I wanted to do, beat the sub 4, and reached the target, which was the main thing for the charity as well. So I got to the 3,500 for the charity. Yeah, just excited and want to do another one.
Wow, that couldn't have gone much better, really, could it? So, just looking back now, what would you say were the sort of highs and lows of your training period, those long months leading up to race day?
The lows were sort of the mileage each week, the after work and fitting in around family, trying to put the mileage into the legs to be prepared for it. But the highest was seeing that sort of the fitness levels grow each week, meeting new targets, and then with the run club, just making more new friends there. That was a massive highlight, which will stay with me. And you made like new friendships with them. Yeah, it's just really a positive from it all.
Right, good. Right, so let's look at race week then. What did you do the day before the race, and when did you go to the expo?
I went to the expo on the Thursday to go and collect my race number. Done that in the afternoon. We've done that as a social thing with the run club as well. So there was like 4 of us who went up there. So made a bit more of an experience with just like going on my own or something else. So we made it more of a social thing, which was nice to share experiences with a couple of the others. And made a day of it. Yeah, it was just from Thursday up to the lead up to it. It's just building to the excitement to actually run it on a Sunday.
Yeah, and what was it? What was it like on race morning then? What time did you get to the start, and how were you feeling?
Got to start. I think it was like at 5 to 9 we had to be there. So we got the 7:15 train. I had to go to Blackheath. Just really full of energy. To be fair, maybe just excited to run it. The weather was beautiful. It was going to be a warm one. Traveling up again with the run club, it's just made it such a social event, and sharing it with like friends to go up there, you just couldn't beat the feeling.
Yeah, no, that's certainly a good way of doing it, to be honest, because it can be quite a lonely experience, the whole going to the expo, going to the start. But you sound like you made the most of these newfound friends from the running club. That's a good way of doing it.
Yeah, no, it was, and to be fair, and with a couple of them that's done the marathons in the past, they've sort of shared their experiences to sort of what to expect, what not to expect, and sort of really try to help with the experience.
Yeah, excellent. It's a good way of doing it. So when that gun went off, what did it feel like? Did you get straight into your groove?
Yeah, to be fair, it felt comfortable. To be fair, it what training don't teach you is sort of how many bodies and how many people you sort of having to sort of run round, and you don't mentally prepare for that. I think with where you do so many long runs and you sort of out on your own or with someone else you're training with, you've just got open roads where the marathon's totally different.
Yeah, it's really strange, isn't it? You might run with a few people from a run club, or a couple of mates or something, but you turn up on race day and it's like, oh my god, where did all these people come from? All these people have been training just like you have on their own, and they all just come together in this mass of 56,000 people.
Yeah, and it's sort of when you're trying to sort of get to because you set yourself a target you want to reach, and you know you split times for each mile. It's hard to sort of try to get to them when you've got thousands in front of you, all doing their own pace and all their own time. So you're trying to find a bit of open road is impossible, really.
Yeah, it is. I mean, most races you manage to get into a groove pretty quickly, but
Yeah.
with London, it's really, really hard. When do you think you got to a point where you felt you were running at your pace rather than other people's?
I've felt comfortable running at my pace for quite a lot of the time, up until about 19 miles. But within each mile, you're fighting for your own bit of space, your own pace you're trying to reach. So there's a lot of in and out, weaving, sort of trying to avoid being tripped over. And where the roads go widen and bottleneck, it's a lot of stop start and sort of slowing down that you got to contend with.
Yeah, that's right. What are the highlights from the first half of the race then? Obviously, let's say going up to Tower Bridge. What do you remember from the first half?
It's just comfortable, just taking in the crowds as well. It's the everyone's cheering, like you don't know anyone like from majority of the people in the crowd, you don't know them, but they're still calling out your name, and just the level of the amount of people and the level of support people are cheering you on. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, did you have friends and family at certain pre-agreed points along the course?
Yeah, I think it was just over Tower Bridge, and then I think it was meant to be mile 15, and then 18, and then down on embankment as well. But one of them, I missed them on one because the time it took them to get between the spots, I was already past the next marker point. So I ran a little bit too quicker than they predicted.
But they weren't very happy, were they? All that effort to get to that spot, and you'd gone.
To be fair, that either spectators, they put an awful lot of steps in trying to catch where I'm going to be. As much as we put a lot of effort in, on the day, the spectators do an awful lot trying to chase friends and family around town to get into cheer points for them. So you've got to take your oath to everyone coming out to cheer everyone on.
It's tough. It's really tough. I think I'd rather run it.
What I've heard stories, it is easier running it than it is trying to be a spectator.
Yeah, particularly if you're dragging kids around with you as well. It's a tough day out, to be honest. What do you remember from the second half of the race? What landmarks do you remember? Or were you too zoned in at that point on your time?
I was zoned in on the time. I sort of remember running down embankment, and it was sort of a bit of a blur. I just remember getting to 19 miles and thinking, I've still got a quarter of the race to run. And I don't know if it was sort of I've gone off too quick or just with the heat and everything else. I just felt it sapped me a little bit, but I knew I banked an awful lot of time in the first 19 miles to get me to my target.
Yeah, so your target was what?
It was originally sub 4. Then I knew I was going to try to push for 3:30. But once I got to 19 miles, I knew the 3:30 was going to be hard. In the back of my head, watching others sort of being stretchered off and being helped by others, I didn't want to. I wanted to be able to complete it and not have a do not finish. So I sort of compromised on the time just to make sure I crossed that finish line.
And you crossed in what time?
3 hours 43 minutes.
Fantastic. Oh, that's really
So I'm well chuffed with that. Absolutely chuffed with that. If you would have given me that beforehand, I would have bit your hand off.
Well, yeah. I mean, that was a tough old day, wasn't it? That was a hot one. So to do that kind of time, really good. Did you follow any of the paces?
No, because of the way I put sub 4 as me time. My wave went off half 10, so I went off a bit quick in that, thinking I wanted to push for the 3:30. So my paces, in my group, I was in. They didn't have a 3:30 pacer.
Right. Okay. I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
So last time we touched on the use of headphones. Did you wear headphones?
Yeah, I did, but they was on low, just as a distracting background noise. Just sometimes, just to if I needed a little bit of tempo or something to run to. But you don't need it there because everyone's cheering you on. You don't need them. But where I've done all my training with them, I felt I had to have them on just to keep to my routine from your training.
Right. So you played your normal soundtrack just to.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Just almost as a comfort thing.
I
But
think, yeah, comfort and superstitious. No, where you don't really want to change too much from what you're used to then race day. You want to try to keep things similar to what you know.
yeah. Yeah. No, that makes sense. But the crowd is so loud, it wouldn't have mattered if you'd had them on full volume. You'd have still heard the crowd, wouldn't you?
It was unbelievable. And a couple of people who's run it from the run club before, they just said this year seemed to be I don't know if it was the weather and the sunshine, pubs all open. They just said the noise was unbelievable this year.
I think there were two things. One was the fact there were 56,000 runners, which means
Yeah.
there's obviously more friends and family coming down. and of course the weather was absolutely perfect for spectators. So
Yeah.
you get 10 degrees and driving rain, you're not going to get a massive
No.
amount of people coming apart from friends and family. Whereas this, there was a lot there for the neutral. It was a good day out to actually go and watch it because the conditions were just perfect for spectators. Tough for you, but
Yeah.
perfect for them. And I think that the benefit of that was great for you guys because it meant there were more people and there was more noise.
Yeah. He said, I'll second that. The amount of people that come out and supported total strangers, cheering them on, it just shows you what we can do as a country, as a community, what we can push and strive to support others. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, it's not all bad out there, is it?
No, it's if you could bottle that and show what people can do and come together for, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. What did you do with your nutrition then? I presume you had a bit of water at every station, and did you take your gels as planned?
I took my gels every 3 miles as planned. I took water on at every possible water station I could get. They had sprinklers on every couple of miles as well, so you can cool down from them. It was just a well managed event. Just it was unbelievable until you run one, and you really don't know how much goes into these plenty of even with the charities there, all the charities lining up with their cheer points. There's so much that goes into it that we as runners get back from it, from what they put into it. It's so rewarding.
Yeah, it's incredible what the organisation level is huge, and they do an amazing job. Let's just switch back to your fundraising for a second then. So your initial target was 2.5, and you've got 3.5.
3.5, yeah, and I've still been promised other people that they're still going to sponsor. Even now, it's the race is finished. So
Brilliant. All right. So I think when we last spoke, you'd gone over the 2.5. So
yeah.
where did the other 1,000 come from? How did you get that in?
Just literally bombarding socials with it, just with friends and family who were promising going to donate, and just kept pestering and saying it's coming round, it's getting close. I'm running this Sunday. Once I went to the expo and got my number, I think that jogged a couple of people's memory. And then I think they could see it was real rather than just look, he's going for a jog around the block or going on a long run. It's race. All my race kit was set out, my numbers, everything was planned, and I put that up on social media, and I think people could see that it was going to happen.
Just give us a bit of a highlight, a bit of a summary of how you achieved the first 2,500 then, because to hit that target early was amazing. What was the main sort of guts of your fundraising campaign?
A lot of it was sort of corporate sponsors where I sold parts of the race shirt and training shirt as corporate sponsors. So I was running with local companies' names supporting me on the back for both training and on the marathon day.
Yeah, I really like that. When you told me about that on the first podcast that we did together, that I thought that was a really cool way of doing it. And how many corporate sponsors did you have?
I think it was 5 or 6 I had in the end on
Right,
there.
and they paid a couple £100 each.
Couple of pounds, £100 each. So it took a massive dent straight at the target I had to reach.
Yeah, and what work was involved for you really? Just getting the shirt printed.
Just getting the shirt printed and just literally constantly. It was more my idea. I just constantly wanted to promote on socials that thank them for their support and time to learn me to sort of concentrate on the training rather than keep raising the money because they've put quite a bit of the sponsorship up front for me.
What I liked about your fundraising page was that you thanked everybody. And I think
Yeah.
that was really, really important. Every time you had a donation in, you went back with a message, didn't you?
Yeah, it's. I think it's the way I've been raised with my family. It's always please, thank yous don't cost you anything.
Yeah.
So manners always been told please, thank you. And running for a charity, it, this time at this current climate with people are struggling. Any donation, I kept saying to people, don't matter if it was £1, £100, whatever it might. Every pound was accepted and appreciated because I know how hard it is out there for people.
Yeah, no, indeed. I like what a recent one you did. I think an anonymous person donated 50 or
Yeah,
£100 or something, and you went back and said, "Thanks so much for this. I don't know who you are, but I
yeah,
really appreciate this." And it does make a difference.
Yeah, it's just a habit of mine. It's, as I said, manners don't cost anything, and people. I'm putting myself out to run for a charity. Other people are putting themselves out to back me and to provide money for that charity. Um, so we should all work together, and we all reached it together. It's not just me. So without people sponsoring me, I wouldn't be able to make the race.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right, and I think it's it's a good learning for other people just to say a quick thank you where you can on your fundraising page. I just think it makes a real difference. What support did you get from your charity on race day? Did they have a cheer zone?
They had 3 cheer zones. They had a constant WhatsApp group updating pictures, videos, messages. And then they had a hotel after where you could go and get food, drink, massage, uh, for a post race event. So yeah, they were really supportive, and even now they're still messaging people, and again they're thanking us as well for what we've done for the charity.
Great. Were you able to meet any family in the post race function, or was that just the
Yeah, yeah.
runners?
All the family travelled with me to back to the hotel, so they it was like a big gathering for all friends and family back at the function.
Excellent, excellent. Well, that's really good. And I think the whole charity profile on the day, you touched on it before, but I don't think anyone can be prepared for the amount of charities that are lining the course, and not, like you said, not just once, but 2, 3, sometimes 6, 7 different cheer zones. These charities,
Yeah.
and it just shows what a huge charity event this actually is. But it does make a difference to you, doesn't it?
It makes a difference when if you looking from outside into when I first started, and when you hear out of 57,000, only 7,000 are ballot places, and you're thinking, well, it's not a lot. When once you've raced it and been to the event, you realise without the charities there wouldn't be an event. Um, and the charities are the ones that make the event, make the London Marathon, because you've got all the cheer points, all the different colours, the race tops. It makes it such more of a spectacle with a minute. It's amazing what how many charities come together for the race day and line the streets and make it a spectacle that what it is.
Yeah, and it's funny because when you look around, it's quite hard to spot someone who's not got a charity top on, isn't it?
Yeah, it's as I said earlier, it's only I think there's only 7,000 ballot places, and all the rest are charity, and you just you see the roads just full of colour and fancy dress, and just it's a great event.
Yeah, it is. It is. So what does marathon running look like for Michael now? Then after that very successful day,
Sign up to next ones. Hopefully London again next year. And then maybe I've already looked into Paris for next April. If I could, I'd love to go and do the six majors. It's caught hold of me. I might be lucky that I've caught the marathon on its good day rather than a negative day, and I was successful with what targets I set and what I achieved. But it's given me the right bug to push on and see what else I can do and raise more money for other charities as well.
oh, that would be great. What have you got anything booked in? Because it's often quite important to have another target straight away.
I've got a local 10k race to do in Essex in Holland 10k. So I'm gonna just focus on that one and then start looking at other marathons and half marathons to sign up for.
Great stuff. Well, look, we really appreciate you joining us. Congratulations. You had a fantastic day, both as a runner and as a fundraiser. You've done an incredible job, and I'm sure the charity is absolutely delighted with what you've done. So I really appreciate you joining us, and congratulations again on becoming a marathon runner.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to this Sapphire Running Zone podcast. Keep checking back as we have lots more podcasts coming soon.